Hey guys, this is Black Bolt. Hope everyone is doing well, staying safe and healthy. Looks like we are in the midst of another snowfall here in Minnesota, which is pretty cool. It's very scenic this time of year. And I'm up in Ramsey, Minnesota, which is a pretty nice area to be in. And so today I want to talk about the Chevy Bolt EUV and the 2022 Chevy Bolt. So GM released some additional information at CES, and it looks like the Chevy Bolt EUV, in the image that they released, it had 235 miles remaining, and it looked like it was in the 80 to 85% battery range. And so that extrapolates out to around 275 miles of range, if that's an image that we can get any information out of, which is decent. And it seems like it's going to be approximately the same size and design as the vehicle that they released in China not too long ago. So it looks like it'll be closer to a mid-sized crossover, like the Hyundai Santa Fe Sport size type vehicle, which is a really good size for a crossover. For me personally, I still want to see what the next generation Bolt is going to look like, because I don't really need a much bigger vehicle than the one that I'm in right now for what I do. The extra size would be nice, but I'm for sure leaning towards not paying a premium for it. And then GM said that they are going to release information on the Bolt and the Bolt EUV next month. So at some point in mid-February, we should know exactly what those vehicles look like, how much they're going to cost, and what type of range they're going to have. So that's pretty exciting. And I was originally thinking about potentially getting the 2022 Bolt EV. I'm generally against new cars, but depending on what kind of prices and incentives that GM would have, that was something that I was thinking about doing. But my family, we are thinking about leaving Minnesota and heading down I-35 to the Dallas, Texas area. So, and that would be a move that we'd make in 2 years or so. So we're not going to be making any big ticket purchases in the near future. So I'm definitely going to be staying in this Bolt EV unless something catastrophic happens to it, of course. But so I should be able to keep this Bolt until it's at least 200,000 miles. And depending on how my mood is at that time, I might even be able to keep it to 300,000 miles, who knows. I'm a car guy, so I like switching cars a lot, as my wife would say. But we're in a pretty good position with the two vehicles that we have now. We're not going to have a need for a new vehicle, so any changes we make would be just a want, basically. So would I pay $30,000 for a brand new Chevy Bolt EV if it had 300 miles of range? No, I wouldn't, I don't think. It would be nice to have that kind of range, but it's not necessary, as I have proven over the last year and a half and almost 2 full winters now, that 240 miles is enough for the average person to be able to do the kind of commuting that most people do. If I was doing rideshare full time, then would I consider spending 30 grand for a Bolt EV with 300 miles of range? I would definitely have to think about it, because these cars save so much on fuel that if you're doing something that is very fuel intensive, then you're going to want to be in a vehicle that saves fuel, and it might make financial sense, but of course you'd have to run the math on it. And then something that we have not gotten any kind of hint of from GM is how fast these vehicles are going to charge. The 2020s, I believe, have a higher charging curve than the 2017s and the 18s, but I believe that they were still also at 50 kilowatts. I'm hoping that the new ones are at least at 100. That should be the minimum standard. And then of course we would need the infrastructure to be updated. Where I am in Minnesota, all of the infrastructure seems to cap at 50 kilowatts, which is really slow, especially in the winter. So those are kind of my initial thoughts right now. the Bolt EUV rendering that I've seen that is similar to the whatever the Buick version in China is, it's not an eye catcher for me at the moment. But it's just one of those things where you need to see the vehicle in person in order to really make a judgment on whether or not it's a good-looking vehicle. Some people don't think the Bolt is good-looking. I think that they are really good-looking vehicles, a Chevy Bolt EV, if you like this style of vehicle. But looks are subjective, and at the end of the day, so long as a car isn't butt ugly, like my wife would not even entertain the thought of me getting the old school Nissan Leaf because of how they look. Are going to be secondary for me. Now, if I was getting something like a Corvette, then yeah, I would want a vehicle that looks really good, but I'm not in that market. So yeah, so those are my initial thoughts on the Chevy Bolt EV. We have some huge goals in our family for this year. So financially and with our channel and with our business. So let me know in comments if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff that we do. As you guys know, my wife and I have already paid off $97,000 worth of debt that we had. Most of it I had that from before we were married. But I am big into personal finance, and I am big into living below our means and having a good lifestyle while doing that. So that means not scrimping and not living like you're dirt poor, but having a good lifestyle and being responsible financially. So let me know what you think, what other kind of content that you would like to get from the channel, and we'll take things from there. All right, hope everyone's doing well. We'll see you next time. And if you get any value from the content on this channel, we want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later.